Welcome to the tutorial video on how to select the optimal sampling sequence settings for your samples. When performing an experiment, it is important to select the appropriate sequence setting to transport your sample to the system. Selecting the sequence settings depends on the type of sample and solvents used for Quench, Dilute and Rinse. We will discuss each type in this tutorial. For an introduction to the React-All software and how to set up a new experiment, please refer to these two video tutorials linked in the description. When adding the details for experiment in the Details tab, select the appropriate sequence settings for the experiment. The available options are: Short, recommended for low viscosity and low surface tension QDR solvents and easy-to-handle samples. Medium, suitable for QDR solvents with moderate viscosity and surface tension, and standard samples. Long, recommended for QDR solvents that are highly viscous, for example, honey-like viscosity, and high surface tension, for example, water, as well as challenging samples such as slurries. Shown in this table are the differences between the short, medium and long settings. To change any value within a sampling sequence setting, select Custom and click on Setting button. This allows you to adjust the parameters to suit your specific sample requirements. Each step defines a specific action performed during the rinse or sample stage. RS rinse. This is the rinse sequence step. It flushes rinse solvent through the specific reactor line and corresponding needle to clean the tubes. By default, 1.5 ml of rinse liquid is used. Doubling the rinse duration or pressure will approximately double the volume of rinse solvent, enhancing the cleaning of the reactor lines. RS rinse blow LP is part of the rinse step that uses low-pressure nitrogen to clean the reactor lines. Use low pressure and increase the time if needed. High pressure may damage or break the column. Different rinse solvent may need different settings. RS rinse blow HP is the high-pressure rinse sequence. It serves as the second stage of solvent transport, using high-pressure nitrogen to help remove any remaining droplets in the system or tubing. These first three steps are related to the rinse step, and changing the settings will change the duration of the rinse step. SR blowpipe. This step uses nitrogen to blow out the sample tube, to clean before taking an actual sample as part of the sampling sequence. Fill pipe. This step fills the sample tube and defines the duration and pressure used to draw the sample. Before collecting the actual sample, the system rinses the sample tube twice with the sample itself to ensure a representative draw. The number of rinse cycles can be adjusted in the settings above. The sample level should be between the rotating valve and just below the top of the sample tube, as illustrated here using a transparent smart cap render. SD rotate. This is the pressure applied when the sample valve rotates. The value should be the same as the fill pipe pressure. SQD pulse. This is the sampling quench dilute pulse step. It is the first stage of sample transport using the quench and dilute solvent. These values may need adjustment, depending on the type of quench and dilute solvent used. The default setting is optimized for acetonitride. SQD pulse 2. This is the second stage of sample transport using the quench and dilute solvent. The duration may be adjusted based on the type of quench and dilute solvent used. Again, the default setting is optimized for acetonitride. SQD blow vial. This is the third stage of sample transport, using higher pressure nitrogen to push the sample to the HPLC and clean the lines. It helps remove any remaining droplets from the tubing walls. However, excessive pressure or prolonged duration may cause solvent evaporation, so settings should be adjusted carefully. SC blow. This is the sample clean blow step, used to blow out the sampling tube after the sample has been taken. It uses the same settings as SR blow pipe. The default configuration is optimized for inhomogeneous samples, such as normal suspensions or slurries. For dense slurries, extending the blow time is more effective than increasing the pressure. Changing these 7 settings will change the duration of the sample step. You can also load the default settings by clicking on Load Default, or choose the short, medium, or long sampling times. Fill the further details in. Important note: when you create a new experiment, it will by default use the medium sample sequence settings, unless you make a different selection. If you wish to copy an existing experiment with custom sampling sequence settings, you will copy the same sampling settings of that experiment. Therefore, please check and make any necessary adjustments. Next, go to the Program tab to program the experiment. The duration of sampling and rinse steps will depend upon the selected sequence settings, so program and schedule the experiments accordingly. If you have any questions, please reach out to us.